Okay, so arrived in Houston at Gabriel's house, and we're gonna go for dinner. So we got Gabriel driving.
Hello.
This is another car that he's adopted, like the original one. Same adoption, or you made changes?
Something. No, this was the whole concept that I had.
So you did the whole...
Yeah.
Right, so somebody was trying to get one modified for you, but then you just developed your whole...
Well, at first what happened was I went to what's called Texas Rehabilitation Commission.
Right.
Which is the government agency in Texas that helps fund modifications for people with handicaps so that they can go to work or go to school.
Right.
And because public transportation is scarce in most cities in Texas, unless you live like downtown, but there's no public transportation out here in the suburbs. So basically, you have to have a car. Otherwise, you do.
Right. That's pretty amazing that...
And so anyway, the Texas Rehabilitation Commission, they got a team of engineers before they would approve any modifications.
Right.
To get their okay for them to build to adapt the vehicle.
Right,
But they came up with all these different modifications that they wanted to do, like they wanted to take the steering wheel off and mount it down here on the floor so that I could,
from the bottom,
with my foot down here like this, and then with this other leg over here, kind of like the hand control that paraplegics use. They wanted to put that kind of a hand control. And I told them that wasn't the idea that I had. And so they told me that they weren't going to fund it if I didn't go with their idea. So I didn't go with their idea. They didn't fund it.
They didn't fund it, so you created your own.
I created my own.
Without much complications, right?
Yeah.
Without all the major modifications.
As simple as you can get. The car is all the same.
Standard,
the way it came from factory. The only thing is just the bar that controls the gas and the brake.
Yeah, so all you did is a back and forth bar, one side for the gas, obviously, and to the other way for the brake, right?
Yep.
So you have it's interesting to look at that, because there was there's something I'm trying to move exactly like that, right? So I understand the back and forth process, right? You go one way, but when you pull this way, the other one has already extended its max, so it has to still extend.
It's kind of telescopic.
Telescopic within itself, right? So it telescopes this way, but it pushes wherever it's adjusted at. Exactly, perfect. That's how we can do the switch, the 50 amp switch. I had to figure out, how do I do it so that I can pull the switch with the cable and have forward, and that I can still pull it the other way and have reverse. So we'll have to think about that. But it's going to take something like this, because I can pull the cable back and forth, right? But once I've extended one cable, I can't pull the other way, because this one's already at full tension. It has no telescope, right?
But the cable is not going to work for the cable, because this is like, there's no cable here involved.
No, but we could develop a telescope that we put in between the cable, right? And then we just clip the top, clip the bottom, and that telescope keeps it. When I pull it, it pulls that way, but when I go the other way, it telescopes. When the other cable pulls, it just telescopes. Then we could pull that switch both ways, right? That's amazing, though. Very simple, and it works, right? You don't have to modify the whole car. You have a choice of cars. You have to stick to one car. You can literally get a car off the lot, right, and put your system in it.
No, this is the car off the lot.
Right, and you just put your system in it, ready to go.
Yeah.
And yet they were going to complicate the whole process, right?
Oh yeah, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, they make it very complicated so they can subcontract that out to
Sure, they want to, yeah.
somebody that they know and somebody
Exactly.
that makes a lot of money.
Yeah, and then put it in production, and now you're modifying every car that you have to have, and they're going to fund it for you if you had approved it, right? If they had approved it and they build it, they would fund it for you, and they have to keep building those cars every time, right?
Yep.
Yep. Anybody that could,
Anybody that can weld, can build something like this.
Yep.
It is just a bunch of pieces of metal that are just welded together.
Right. The telescope is the key to it. That's what I couldn't figure out. How are you doing? You have a lever for each one. That's kind of dangerous, you know, to go from one to the other, right?
Yeah.
But that solves it. With the telescope, you're just moving the same lever back and forth, moving your foot, you know, from one to the other. No different, right? Yep. Very good. And so you've got adjustments too, right? You can adjust your handle as far back or forth as you want.
Yeah. And also you can take the handle off. You pop that screw out right there.
Right, I see that.
And the handle comes off. So that way anybody can drive the car.
Right, so you could just take the handle off, and nothing is in the way for a regular driver to drive that car.
You can put your legs down in there. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
drive it
And away you go. Yeah. So the other way, the way they wanted to do it, not only was it going to have to be modified for you, but it was going to be unuseful for someone else.
Well, I don't know about unuseful because I don't know that they rule out completely. I think they don't take the steering wheel off. I think because I've seen somebody else drive like that, like what they were, what they wanted from me. Where this person had the steering wheel down on the floor, and I think what they do is they just run a chain.
Right. From
tie it into the.
Yeah, so you could drive it down here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this steering wheel up here, it turns at the same time.
Okay. I see. Okay. So they don't. I got it. So they don't take it off. They just.
Yeah, they don't take it off.
Just adopt another one and run the chain. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. Well, see, we just solved one of the problems for that. Now, the next, obviously not all of it, right? Because now do you have two handles? But that's a different story, you know? The fact is that with the telescope solves the pull that switch back and forth in order to have reverse. You don't have to have reverse on the EZ Snorkel, but it was nice having reverse. I just eliminated it because it wasn't easily feasible to make it work, you know, back and forth. But with the telescope cable, inline cable, that would absolutely work. That was a solution that I was trying to come up with. How to keep the slack on one cable and yet pull the other cable and allow this one to stretch, which is impossible, right, with a cable. But with a telescope in between it, then it's possible. Interesting. See, that's why we need to get together, right? Yeah.
Two minds are better than one.
Yeah. Yeah. You've solved that problem. I mean, I can totally see the rotary switch right there. You're operating it right now, going back and forth. That's funny. Well, not funny, but it's pretty amazing. So how long did it take you to get the skills down of being able to drive and take the exam?
30 minutes.
Really?
And after I finished modifying it, I drove down through an empty parking lot. Drove around the parking lot a little bit just to kind of get the feel for it, and went down and did my driver's test.
You said, this is good enough. It's going to work. What did the instructor say?
Well, they were kind of,
Hesitant.
baffled at first, like, you really think you can really do it, I didn't tell them that I had never driven. I just
Right.
went down there and said, I'm ready to take the test. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do it, go around in here and do this and then the other, and if you do everything right, you pass the test. how long did it take you to learn? You know, how long you been driving?
5 minutes.
Like 30 minutes.
I started just before I got here. That's pretty amazing. Excuse me. But of course, you're because you do a lot of the stuff with your feet. You have the coordination in your feet. You don't have to do that because
right,
that's how you do it.
So
Right. Exactly.
my feet are my hands, so my feet work like your hands. You know?
Right.
Anything that you do with your hands, you don't really think about how you're going to do it.
You just
with
do it.
your hands.
Right.
Same thing with me. Park here.
Good job. Right in there, no problem.
I don't really think about, that, okay, well, I'm going to do it with my feet, so, I've got to, plan it or figure
Right.
it out. No, it's my hands.
It's normal. It's
normal.
right.
It's my hands.
Right. We think of it different, right?
You're thinking that I might maybe had to plan or learn how to do it
Right.
or stuff like that because you would never think of doing it with your feet.
Right. All set. All right. Good ride.
There's one small spring that helps pull.
Because the brake comes back on its own, but now it's having to move your whole lever system. And for that, it's not set up for. So the spring makes up the difference, right? Yep. I'll look at it. Choose a car. The only thing you choose is...
No, the only thing I choose is that it has to be two-door.
Has to be a two-door.
I can't drive a four-door.
You can't or don't want to?
No, I can't.
Really?
Because four-door, in order for me to drive, I have to be able to put the seat all the way back.
Okay. So
and for me to get in on a two-door, the door stop is too far in front. It doesn't allow me the space to get in.
to lay the seat back and get in where at the seat level. Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, well, I noticed that part of it, right? That you've got the seat way back, so that's a requirement. So yeah, that makes sense. If the seat's all the way back, you got to be able to get in at that level where the seat is. Yeah. Okay. So it's not that it's a four-door; it's that the dynamics of the four-door, the post, the center post, the door post of the four-door is too far forward.
That's too far forward. So
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. You need the longer door.
And also because I'm so far back, the same post gets in my way.
To look.
Peripheral vision.
Peripheral vision, yeah, when you're driving, yeah. Oh, okay. I was wondering. Okay, cool.
Because I parked so close to my
Right. Okay. It's good. Good driving.
Yeah, you come in.
Yeah. So is this
Once you saw over there on that side.
All set?
Yeah, all set.
Order placed. All right. Amazing.